Thank you. Namaste, everyone. Hello. So welcome to Wednesday Night Mantras. This is week 2 of our Kālī Trībīja Mantra. I'm going to go ahead and do some opening invocations, and then we'll talk a bit more about our practice, and then we'll just dive right into it. So 3 invocations, nice long Om at the beginning of each one, and if you do happen to know it as I'm chanting it, feel free to join in. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvatha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Okay, we're ready to begin. So for those of you who are just joining in for the first time this week, I did a whole discussion about Kālī and who she is and how we can think about her last week. And so you can go back to my YouTube channel. I'll post the link for that in the chat a little bit later, maybe like right after we finish the practice, so that everybody who comes in can see it. You can go back there and listen to my discussion on that. It was a lot to unpack. So we're gonna move on today and talk about the mantra itself and the various different parts of it, and then we're just gonna go ahead and dive right in. So let me go ahead and share that screen. Okay, so here's our mantra. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī devyai svāhā. So let's talk about the second line first, actually, because this is relatively the simpler part of it. Just like a normal mantra would do, you're going to name the deity that you're connecting to in the mantra, and you're then going to have some kind of a connecting word, some sort of energetic conduit wherein the energy vibrations can pass between the deity and yourself. So here, of course, this is a mantra for Kālī, so there's her name right there, Kālī. In this case, with these Tribija mantras, which are, I think, all goddess mantras, they're all divine mother mantras, the Tribija mantras. I don't think there are any others that are for any other particular deity, male deities. So in these Tribija mantras, or triple seed mantras, the way that it's stated at the end here is the name of the goddess, in this case Kālī, and then devyai is Devi, which means literally goddess in the dative case, or to the goddess. So Kālī devyai, to the goddess Kālī, is what this is saying. I like that because the dative case of the name Kālī is a little bit, I don't know, something doesn't quite feel right about it, and you don't see it all that often. It would if it was just her name, it would be Kālī, which is a little bit difficult to say. There's an extension on Kālī's name, which is Kālika. So you'll see her name written that way sometimes, and there'll be mantras that'll be Kālikāyai. But this one, Kālī devyai, to the goddess Kālī. And then svāhā, very importantly here, svāhā is our surrender connection. So there are the other main connections that we use in Vedic mantras is the word namaḥ or namaḥ, which we're using in this Śiva mantra down below. And with namaḥ, we're doing sort of it's like a conversation, right? It's you're connecting in a way of not necessarily equal action, because the deity is obviously capable of a lot more than we are at this particular level of consciousness that we're at. But still, there is a certain activity that you're engaging in, and you're enlisting the help of the deity to facilitate that action, whatever that may be. In the case of the Śiva mantra, the action that we are calling upon for Shiva to help us with is to balance out the Kālī energy that we've just generated, right? So there's a very specific thing that we're doing there. When we use the svāhā ending on a mantra, I translate that as I surrender myself, right? So in this case, Kālī devyai svāhā, I surrender myself to the goddess Kālī. And what that means is basically, rather than a conversation here where you're engaging in a particular process and enlisting the aid of the deity, you're basically just saying, I need you to go in and like take care of this. It's like you don't have that, there's not that much you can really do about it. There's not that many actions you can really take. You need the deity, in this case Kālī, to take control of the situation and do what needs to be done. And when we talk about this sort of, like we talked about last week, this mythological, allegorical sort of beheading of the inner demons and the releasing of the blood, which is the prana or life force energy that we're able to integrate back into ourselves once the demons have been vanquished, in this case. We can't really have too much to do with that. Ultimately, the egoic demons, the bits and pieces of karma that are engaged in holding us in this limited sort of separate form, typically have a very, very powerful hold on us. And that may even be to the extent that they've completely hidden themselves, so that we don't even know they exist, or how they're operating, or in what ways our perception and understanding of who we are and what is happening here is actually being affected by them, right? We can't, it's very difficult in our current state of consciousness to know anything about that. So in this particular case, it really helps to have this very powerful goddess energy to come in, because, where we may be we may have kind of like, blinded ourselves to what's going on here, or are sort of willfully looking away from whatever is going on. Trust me on this. Kālī sees everything and knows everything that is going on with you right now. All of it, down to the deepest levels of who you are in this particular lifetime, as well as everything that may have happened in previous lifetimes that's led up to this particular point of where you're at. Just everything about yourself that is stuff that you don't know about, you don't know it, and you couldn't know it. It's not a judgment on you about that, like that some people know these things and other people don't. None of us do, right? It's so deep and it's so fundamental to the nature of our existence in this samsāra, this cycle of life, death, rebirth, that we just don't have a handle on it. So that's the point of the svāhā ending. Very important in Kālī mantras. I would say that most Kālī mantras should use this ending, because that's her job, really, is to handle stuff that we are totally incapable of handling on our own. And to the degree that we don't even know, we don't even understand what's going on. We're unable to actually perceive the mechanisms by which our lives are being sort of turned into chaos in one way or another. So svāhā, very important. I surrender myself to the goddess Kālī. Now the top line up here, these are the seed syllables, the bija mantras. Bija means seed. A bija is a small word like om or krīṁ, right? Or hum or hrīṁ. These are all three of these are bijas or seed syllables. The idea here is that this sound is encapsulating some kind of cosmic process, an energetic unfolding of sorts. And it's called a seed because it's small and seems kind of insignificant. You know, this word right here at the beginning, om, is just 2 letters, right? There's not that much to it. It seems like a very small thing. However, the whole deal with a seed is that the seed is like a little tiny thing on its own, but inside the seed is the potential for something much bigger and perhaps more magnificent, right? Whether that be the seed grows into a mighty oak tree or, an incredibly beautiful lotus flower, or however that may, however it manifests itself. The potential for whatever that is contained inside the seed. And that's the way that a seed syllable works. It's a vibration that seems kind of small and insignificant on its own, but over time and continued repetition, just the same way that with a plant seed you would water it, right? And plant it, it would be in the soil and absorbing nitrogen and other things that it needs, and you water it and you give it sunlight, and it takes those things and grows really miraculously. I've been watching the plants grow in my garden and my backyard here, and it truly is a miracle the way that plants operate and seeming to just kind of grow and appear out of nothing. It's much the same way here. This energy will grow itself inside your chakra system to the point to where it begins to manifest and flower. So the Om bija is the one that appears, in most mantras. So when we talk about Trībīja, the triple seed mantra, we're not including this one because Om would have already been there. So Om is, of course, the sound of infinite consciousness itself. It is the vibration that underlies the entirety of the reality that we experience on all of its different levels. If you were to go deeply into meditation, to the point to where you're beginning to make contact with a unity consciousness, this is the sound that you hear. This Om that's vibrating constantly underneath everything else that we experience. So Om is very important in most cases as a way to begin a mantra. We want to start from that ground of unity consciousness, understanding that the energy of the mantra emerges out of this unity consciousness and then differentiates itself into whatever kind of a mantra it actually is. So here's the Tribija, the triple seed part of the mantra, krīṁ, hum, hrīṁ. And this is the particular formula that's associated with Kālī. So the first one, krīṁ, then is in fact Kālī's seed, the seed sound of Kālī herself, right? So most of the goddesses have a particular seed sound that's associated with them, right? So shriṁ is the bija for Lakshmi, aim is the bija for Sarasvati, dum is the bija for Durga, etc., etc. Krīṁ is the bija for Kālī. This bija mantra is also called the yoga bija right? The yoga seed. And because of its powerful transformative effect, it's very much in this idea of Kālī's energy that strips away all of the things that are blocking you from achieving the ultimate goal of yoga itself, which is returning yourself into infinite consciousness. So it has a very sort of a fiery energy to it, and all of these bijas do have a fiery energy. But in this particular case, the ka letter at the beginning gives it a really almost an electrical kind of a quality. That's the way that David Frawley talks about it. It's like a thunderbolt bija, like it contains that much power, like the power of a lightning bolt, to go in and precisely strike each point that needs to be dissolved in an almost surgical kind of a way. So that's Kālī's energy encapsulated right in that sound. If you just vibrate this one sound, in her root mantra, that's the only bija that appears, and if you just vibrate that sound enough times, it begins to generate the energy of Kālī inside of you. But this is then magnified and made more powerful by adding other seed sounds to it. So this sound, hum, this is a very, very powerful bija mantra that's used very often in, particularly in Buddhist mantras. In the Buddhist tradition, this mantra serves as an ending a lot of the times, like in the very famous mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, right? What this mantra does is this is a seed syllable that opens and allows connection into the heart chakra itself, which is an extremely potent way to engage. The heart chakra is the most important part of your entire energy system. It's a lot of why in yoga we discuss we're constantly in discussion about like opening the heart, working with heart energy, etc., etc. And there's a number of different levels to that. But here, what's important is that the heart chakra is the center of your energy system. It's right in the middle, and it has connection directly from the heart chakra to all the other parts of your body, your subtle body, that is. Each of the other chakras has connections to a lot of places, but the heart chakra is the only one that has connections to the entire system. So the more energy you're able to pour into the heart chakra, the more completely that energy gets distributed throughout your entire system. So in the cases of using this in a mantra, that's the idea, is we want to bring that energy directly into the heart chakra, where it can do the most good, essentially, where the within the heart chakra, the change that occurs and the energy that is generated will be at its maximum potential. So this sound hum is there for the purpose of heart opening. When we use this sound hum in a Buddhist or a Bodhisattva mantra like we did in the previous 3-week series, it's very powerful. You know, it's like you're drawing the energy of that Bodhisattva directly into your heart. And it's very much the same way here. So we've got the krīṁ bija, we're generating Kālī energy, and we're placing it directly into the heart chakra, right in the center of our system. Then finally, krīṁ on the end. This is called the Shakti bija. This is a powerful, fiery sort of a sound, very powerful solar energy kind of a thing, and it's also very specifically associated with Kālī and other warrior goddesses, so to speak, in the sense that what is happening here is we are generating a flow of energy with this sound. This Shakti bija generates a flow of energy that moves from the root chakra upwards in towards the crown, essentially. Although what happens in this case, because we've already activated this hum sound, it draws energy from the root chakra up into the heart, and then it mixes with the other things that are going on there. So on its way up from the root chakra up to the heart chakra, it's drawing with it the energy of the other two chakras, the root chakra, the sacrum chakra, the navel chakra, right? So Mūladhara, Svadhisthana, and Manipura, the 3 chakras below. That energy is picking up the various vibrations that are occurring in the lower three chakras, which are probably where the problem, whatever problems you're experiencing are happening, right? Most likely. And it's drawing them up into the heart where the krīṁ bija can be applied to them, right? If that makes sense. So the krīṁ is creating this electrical energy that is going to kind of surgically pinpoint each of the pieces of karma that need to be acted upon. The hum is going to open up the heart chakra and draw the energy into itself, right? Draw the energy into the heart. The hrīṁ is going to pull the energy from the lower chakras up to that heart level where the krīṁ can then operate on it. So hopefully you can see this is like a super powerful process that's going on here with these three bijas. Very, very powerful coordination. There's then, you know, if this mantra like does it for you and you want to continue and grow with it, there's actually another mantra that goes beyond this, and it's I think I mean, I would call it the Kālī Maha Mantra, but it multiplies all of these seed syllables so that each time you say it, you're saying them many times. So the mantra goes Om krīṁ 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 hum hum hrīṁ hrīṁ dakshine kalike hrīṁ hrīṁ hum hum krīṁ 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 svāhā, right? That's the mantra. So then you're like really generating that energy. That might be a lot. The last time I worked with that mantra on a 40-day sadhana, you know, very interesting things happened for me. So that's up to you if you want to delve deeper into that. But with this one, we won't generate quite that much energy, so it'll be a little bit better for you to get sort of a sense of what's going on with it. And then, of course, Om Namaḥ śivāya, which we'll do at the end there, is going to be really important for just making sure that we balance the energy out and let it settle in a lot of ways, so we don't sort of leave the practice in this totally like churned up state with the energy, particularly in the heart chakra. You know, Kāli's energy can really stir things up and get it moving in a really powerful way that can make it a little bit difficult to sort of operate in your normal life, right? It's not dangerous, but it's just like, you know, I think when you're engaging in really powerful, deep processes like this, you need to set aside some time to do that, but then afterwards be able to go back to your regular life and do what you need to do with it, instead of just like being like in that the whole time, unless you happen to be able to go on a retreat for a month, right? And then you could just do that. But I'm presuming that we're not really in that situation. So that's what Shiva's going to do for us with his mantra Om Namaḥ Śivāya, to just balance out the Kālī energy so that we can integrate it in a way that is functional for our normal life in moving forward. So what we'll do is we're going to chant the Kālī mantra 2 times, so 2 rounds of 108 on the Kālī mantra, and then Om Namaḥ Śivāya will be 1 time through 108 on that. Okay, so let me just come back here really quick. Any questions about any of that stuff? We good? Okay, let's get started. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ 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 devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī 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 Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ 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 Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ 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 Kālī devyai svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ 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 svāhā. Om krīṁ hum hrīṁ Kālī devyai 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 svāhā. śivāya. Om namaḥ 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 śivāya. Okay, so that concludes our practice for today. I'm going to go ahead and do the closing mantras to kind of put a lid on this particular day's practice. I encourage you to continue working with these mantras through the course of the next week, and we're going to meet again for the third and final session next Wednesday. after the closing mantras, I'll be available to take any questions that you might have. But I want to make sure we close it up so that anybody that needs to leave can go with the completion of the practice. So it'll be a nice long Om, then Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 3 times, followed by Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. And I posted all of the various links, donations, YouTube channel where this will be posted later tonight, and also Margot's Mala collection if you're interested in purchasing one. Here we go. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining in on this practice. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.